Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is Clay Bierman, and this is my 10th update for my solar production on my solar PV system. So I've had the system for almost a year and it's done really well. Now, I will say for the month of October in northeastern Indiana, it was extremely rainy, so a lot of cloud cover, so production fell drastically from the previous month of September, obviously. So today we're gonna be going over, like we always do, total kilowatt hours produced for the month of October. Actually, go back, it's not the actual month of October. I go by the billing cycle of my electric bill, so it's mostly October, a couple days towards the end of September. The billing cycle was from September 3rd to October 28th. So we're gonna take a look at my solar journal. We're gonna take a look at the Enphase monitoring system that shows how much you produce every day. Yeah, just talk about it. So. All right, here we go. The system produced 618.2 kilowatt hours of electricity. Now, if you look back last billing cycle, it was over 1,000. It was 1,088 and I think 0.2 kilowatt hours produced. So as you can see for September, much better weather for solar production. And then you go to October and we had a couple good days, couple days in the 40s, a lot of 20s and 30s, and then just some really just heavy overcast, foggy, moist days, for lack of a better word, moist and rainy. Now, I know we got a ton of rain in October, well above average. The average rainfall for October in northeastern Indiana is about 3 inches of rain. According to this right here, over 7 inches fell in Fort Wayne, which is over 4 inches above average. That also ranks in the top 10 in Fort Wayne history as the 5th wettest. Now, Fort Wayne's about 40 minutes southwest of us. A little bit northeast of Fort Wayne, we got more rain, but who knows? I mean, 7 inches is a lot. I want to say we got closer to 10, but I don't really know. So that's why production was way down. Now, I thought because production was down and we'd have had some cold weather where I've had to turn the heat on and combine that with lack of sun, so we're pulling a lot more energy from the grid, I thought we'd have an electric bill this month. Every month we do pay the $15 plus tax fee that the power company charges just to be connected to the system. So that's gonna be there every month regardless. But I thought we were gonna have to pay for some electricity. But we didn't, and I'm gonna show you why. So let's jump into the solar journal and go over that. So my solar journal, if you watched these videos before, you've seen this. It's just how I kind of keep track of what's going on in a format that I can understand because I created it. Because, you know, I'm an Excel wizard. I'm not. You can pause the video if you wanna understand this, everything that's going on. As far as my grand totals go and my totals for a year. If you don't know, it's an 8 kilowatt system consisting of 20 400 watt panels. 20 times 400 is 8,000 watts or 8 kilowatts. There's the math for you. That was my electric bill for October, $16.05. That's $15 plus taxes. Regardless, you're gonna pay $16.05 where I live for power. All right, so here's what's interesting. So net kilowatt hours used from the grid. This is what we pull from the grid, and then subtract what we produce. If it's negative, that means we produce more than we pulled. If it's positive, that means we pulled more than we produced. Anyways, you can see from this that it's 235 that we pulled from the grid. So we should have to pay for some electricity, right? Wrong, we'll come back to that. Solar power generated, I already told you that, 618.2. Average per day, that divided by 29, it comes out to 21.32. Excess put back in the grid, that's the stuff that we did not use of that 618, 402 kilowatt hours were put back into the grid. Money that made or produced or saved, or however you want to put it, this comes out to $8.37 if you calculate the cost of kilowatt hour 13 cents. I drove 1,425.9 miles in my Chevy Volt on electricity only, no gasoline. That comes out to approximately 356 kilowatt hours if you calculate 4 miles per kilowatt hour. So we didn't completely fuel my car with solar power, but again, I only pulled 235 kilowatt hours from the grid, and I used 356 kilowatt hours in my Volt. And that's the power of my whole house. This house does not have natural gas, propane, any other power source. Is all electric. So that powered everything. So anyway, why didn't we pay for this electricity that we pulled? So it's because, and this is how net metering works, throughout the summer months, the warmer summer months, since we overproduced, we got credit for the kilowatt hours that we overproduced. We don't get cut a check for just like cash that we produce, those just get credited. So if you do just scroll down here and come down here to the sum function, negative 476, before the month of October, we had 476 kilowatt hours banked in the grid to use when we didn't produce as much as we consumed, like this month. So if you take all that, negative 241, so for the month of November's billing cycle, I will have 241 kilowatt hours to use if we don't produce as much as we pull. Now, if we produce more than we pull, then the number that we bank will just increase. And why aren't I taking into account the 919 and the 447 or the 1138 up here? It's because, well, we already paid for those. We have to pay for those. Since we didn't have anything banked, since the system just came online and it was middle of winter, a lot of heat, not very much sun. Already paid for those, so those don't really come into account. Bank these, and essentially we use some of the kilowatt hours that we bank, so didn't have to pay for any electricity this month, which is great. And then next month still have some, and it's sunny enough, the heater doesn't run as much and produce a lot of energy, and won't have to pay for electricity again next month, which is be really good for November. You know, come end of December, we'll know how many electric miles I drove in my Volt for the year and how much money I made or saved, and it's gonna be really cool. The system's been great, no worries. The only issue is when it's super cloudy for a lot of days and it gets cold and you're using a lot of energy but not producing a lot of energy. Why aren't we just go off grid? Well, if you wanna go off grid, you either have to, one, change your lifestyle. Say goodbye to a lot of the modern conveniences that we take for granted because we have electricity, all the electricity we want at all times. Or two, spend a crap ton of money on batteries, more solar, and even then, like, if you're running heat and air conditioning, plus charging cars and all the other crap that you're using electricity for, it'd be very expensive to go off grid and not have to sacrifice not have to make any lifestyle changes. So, and it could go into actual calculations like what is the average number of kilowatt hours we use per day, per year, tailor a system to produce that much with solar and batteries. But man, batteries are expensive, more solar would be expensive, and it would just, to pay the $16.05 to be connected to the grid to have all the electricity we want and not have to sacrifice any lifestyle, pretty cheap price to pay. But I'm not gonna get into that right now too much. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I hope you found out something from this video. Stay tuned for another with Ross, where me and my buddy Ross talk about the Marine Corps a little bit, and we're gonna do one where we talk about solar, because he doesn't know much about solar and I know a little bit, so yeah, really selling it there. We'll see you next time. Bye.